看到的是我从维基里面看到这个有关于游戏引擎的列表，就是有哪些语言可以用到它们。好，第一个就是那个 Mojang， 还有这个 3D CamWorks， 然后还有这个什么 A6 啦、AGL 啊，然后什么 Baja， 然后还有这些 Beatmax， 这些等等都是那个游戏引擎的。我看一下，现在比较常用到的啦，ZEP， 还有这个我看一下，我们系上比较常用到的是那个 3D Max， 然后 Unity， 然后这边告诉你是还有用那个 C#，OK， 然后我看一下，还有 Ninos 3D，OK， 那还有什么？我看一下，这边很多啦。看起来用的是那个，好，也有用那个 Unreal Engine， 然后其他的，好，那这边通通都有。然后你可以看一下你看一下最上面这个地方，它有介绍的东西是非常多了非常多。这边有告诉你是说他们的那个写的方式是怎么写，比如像这边的介绍就是用的是 C 或者是用 Python。然后它使用的平台呢，可以在什么地方使用呢？可以在那个安卓或是 iOS 上面。然后呢，像这个地方没有 3D CamWorks 的话，这边还可以在 Windows 跟 Linux 上面可以使用。OK， 然后这边可以告诉你可以用音效啦，然后指令码是什么的。好，所以换句话说，比如说像这个 3D CamWorks 这边的话，因为用 Python， 对不对？所以刚好我们课程里面不是教 Python 吗？你就可以把这个拉进来里面一起使用了。所以换句话说，就是这边已经告诉你说，你如果要做3D 的话呢，除了用 Unity 之外，你也可以用这个。好，那这个部分的话是介绍的，那这个我会把那个连结放在我们的群组里面啦，群组里面。好，接下来我们介绍一下这个影片里面告诉你的是这个游戏引擎是怎么做运作的，你看一下，来等一下哦。
Look at how beautiful these are. Advanced engines creating hyper-realistic AAA games, but what do they really do? Does a better engine make a better game? And how could we make one? Let's find out. A game engine is a framework for game development. This framework helps us with several core areas that all games have. For now, we'll simplify it to just 3.
好，先介绍这个游戏怎么去做运作的，来看一下。
Actually, these are things that all software has, whether you're making the latest AAA shooter, Tetris, or a calculator app. However, modern game engines have become more specialized and commonly include frameworks for physics, AI, networking, optimization, and much more. But what do I mean by a framework and how does it help? Let's take a look at history. Back in the day, nearly every game was made from scratch. For example, let's say we're making Super Mario Bros. For the NES, and we just got the design sheet from Miyamoto, and we're trying to load the graphics in the right places. Looking here, we have the floor, some pipes, some Goombas, the blocks, coins. We have a lot of objects in this first level. And we have to tell the NES to get these sprites from the cartridge memory and show them at the coordinates that we want them to be at. And once we're finished with this, we then have to delete each and every one of these objects to make room in memory for the next area. So we have to make sure every time we create a new object, we also find and delete every Goomba, coin, and block one by one. Now, this would be a lot easier if we had a system that could keep track of these objects and automatically free them once the next level starts to load. Creating this system will require more memory, but it will also save a lot of development time, which is a trade-off we might want to take. You might notice that every game has objects and characters and enemies, right? So it would be great if this memory management system could be made so it can function in any game, not just one. So that whether you're making Mario, Mega Man, or Zelda, you don't have to keep writing the same code every single time. And this is what I mean by a game engine being a framework. It provides tools and structure that every game requires to function. Using engines means you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time you start a new project. While modern games are able to handle the overhead of many complex systems, in reality, most old school games were not able to take that trade off since memory was so limited and precious. Third party engines only became widespread once 3D games were in demand and as technologies grew increasingly complicated. Many studios began to use these engines to speed up the development process, although many still make their own in-house engines from scratch, even today. Once again, there is a trade-off here. Making your own engine allows you to optimize specifically for your game, but buying one will save you possibly thousands of hours of coding time. So let's take a look at some of these engines to see what they actually do, how they're different, and how they influence games. First up is GameMaker, which is so simple that I actually used it to make Pong at a science camp when I was about 12. People have made some wonderful and interesting projects with this because you don't have to write code, although you will naturally understand a programmer's mindset as you learn game logic. For example, to make a simple platformer in GameMaker, you need to understand that when the player presses spacebar, the block should jump, but you don't need to understand why things jump in a parabola or how the block is being animated. There are some clear limitations since you have to play by GameMaker's rigid rules, but projects like To the Moon show that creativity and talent can always shine through the tech. Next is Unreal Engine 4, an incredibly robust professional level tool that recently became completely free to use. UE3 had hits like Arkham City and Bioshock Infinite, and Unreal 4 shows a lot of promise as well. You will notice that it looks quite a bit more complicated than GameMaker, and you can see why developers need more advanced software like this to keep track of complex 3D environments. Lots of modern engines will support the cool lighting effects and realistic explosions and other boring things like memory management, but there are two things I really like about Unreal specifically. First, the blueprint system. Learning to make games with this will make a professional engine seem almost like GameMaker. You can get some pretty cool games running quickly without ever writing code. The other thing I like about it is that if you really want to optimize down to the last byte and have complete control over the code, subscribers can have access to all of Unreal's source code to modify it to their heart's content. I love its accessibility to both AAA studios and game dev hobbyists alike. Finally, we have Unity, which has become very well known for being the source of many Steam Greenlight flops, along with some really wonderful titles like Pillars of Eternity, Ori and the Blind Forest, and Kerbal Space Program. Nonetheless, there is a lot of talk about its more unsavory titles. I personally believe that a lot of Unity shovelware exists simply because it has always been free and simple. It supports higher level languages like C Sharp and JavaScript and has many tools that allows developers to bypass coding altogether. Unity has also accumulated a bustling community with tons of free tutorials, assets, and content, making it many young creators' first engine. I personally started with Unity before Unreal, so I'm more fluent in it, meaning I'm able to sketch out game ideas way more quickly and I'm able to create a lot of content in a short time. Similarly, all of these low barriers to entry result in a huge number of gaming projects in the world at large, of which only a certain percentage will be legitimately good. This is probability's fault, not Unity's. In any case, all of these are wonderful tools that help you make games. Everything I mentioned here has an excellent free version that you can download right now. So if you've always wanted to try making games, you can pull up a tutorial and start making one in only a few hours. So now we have a basic idea of what engines do and how they might affect games differently, but could we make one? Of course we can! So look out for tutorials on how to make a game engine from scratch in C++ in the upcoming weeks. As always, everyone is welcome to try, regardless of experience, but this is an excellent exercise in understanding how games work down to the last byte. Also, check out our community game. You get 24 hours to make a contribution to a Unity project. Once again, all levels of experience are welcome, even if you've never made a game before. All the information is in the description below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. This is so much fun. Have a happy day wherever you are. I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Game engines.
好，这个你刚才看完了哈，那个就是刚才这个像这个作者介绍的，就是说你在写那个游戏的话，其实他刚才讲的是最简单，是用 Game Maker 哦，那个等一下我会把那个一些网址让你可以玩玩看。那他其实建议是说先用那个 Unity。哦，那等一下我也会把那个 Unity 里面有一些那个，其实那个在 YouTube 里面已经有很多人都有那种非常非常完整的那个课程，你可以去 follow 了，哦，你就跟着他做。那你从那个 Unity 怎么下载，怎么安装，哦，然后到他第一堂课该怎么去用它的界面，他都有介绍。那因为 Unity 可以用的东西非常非常的多，包含就是说你如果我要做成3D 的，然后 Unity 还有一个好处就是说。你所写出来的程式，所写出来的那个游戏呢，可以在不同的平台上面使用，可以在 Xbox， 可以在 PS4， 然后可以在那个手机，哦，甚至于安卓，然后iPhone， 然后甚至于一般的 PC， 通通都可以用那个 Unity 使用，哦，所以像这样子的软体，像这样子的这个游戏引擎、游戏那个软体啊，其实是最适合你的。为什么？因为你知道，在没有 Unity 的时候啊，如果你要写一个游戏啊，如果你要用安卓或者是用那个 iPhone， 你就要写2种不同的语言，对不对？哦，你用那个安卓的话，你可以用什么写？用什么 App Inventor 啦，哦，然后用那个 iOS 的话，你要用那个 iPhone 的话，你要用什么Swift 啊，或者是什么 Xcode， 就是变成你要学2种不同的程式语言，才有办法把那个程式完成。那你可以用 Unity 呢，就很简单的把这些东西就全部把它合并在一起，哦，然后甚至也可以在那个一般的 PC 上面使用，哦，所以我觉得用这样的软体呢，会对你来讲会帮助更大。那再加上 Python， 那你如果又会一些基本的程式的概念的话，那你就如虎添翼了。OK， 好，那我们先休息一下，哦，我们先休息一下，等一下我回来继续上。